think we good. I think we good. I think we good. I think we good. Let's get the show started. What's up, y'all? I think we good. All right, let's get this show started. Let's get it going. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tuning in, tapping into episode 244. That's a lot of episodes, and I want to thank y'all for continuing to support the podcast each and every Wednesday, each and every Sunday at 10:30. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share button, hit that all notification bell. I do pop up throughout the week. So continue to support. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 12. So again, continue to show that love. And we also got membership portions in the page. So make sure y'all check out the memberships and take advantage of holding those badges as well, man. I appreciate y'all as always. Again, I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Shout out to the chat. Major love to the chat, showing major love. Yo, I'm not gonna say everybody in the chat, but yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to Shay in the chat. Shout out to Winter in the chat. Shout out to who's that? Culture in the building. Yo, my brother and sisters. Shout out to King P in the building. What's the word? Love and light. Shout out to Hazel. Shout out to King P. Had his membership for over 19 months. So shout out to King P for that. That's major love and the support. I appreciate that, King P. Also, shout out to King P again. He also gifted 10 memberships to the chat. So shout out to y'all for everybody that got their memberships. So shout out to Sands, a new member. Gave, a new member. Randy, Thomas, Kimberly, Noe, Rachel, Fat, Carl, Prime. Yeah, I got some new memberships and courtesy of King P. So again, I appreciate that. And again, shout out to Ebony in the building as well. So again, hit them likes, hit them subscribes, hit that share button again. It helps with the growth of the show when you stay engaged. We have a lot of fun. We have the great conversation. So let's get it started. Again, don't be an agent of chaos. Do not try to stand out for being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that it can only be one mindset, that Willie Lynch mindset. Because the only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We celebrate life culture. Hate has a location. It's just not here. So without further ado, first segment of the night, popular opinions. And remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, as you see on the hat. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. First question of the night. Leading death in the USA on this list. Leading death in the USA on this list. Number 1, unintentional injuries. Number 2, strokes. Number 3, cancer. Number 4, heart disease. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, leading death in the USA on this list. Number 1, unintentional injuries. Number 2, strokes. Number 3, cancer. Number 4, heart disease. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Looking at this whole complete list right here, I mean, I would think that unintentional injuries is accidents, right? So easily, I want to say accidents because we got a lot of people that's just in a rush. Everybody's on their own different type of time. I would say unintentional injuries, but I'm going to say cancer. I'm going to go with cancer. I think cancer is the leading death in the USFA on this list. Shout out to the chat. The chat I'm seeing is going with They also going with cancer and heart disease. Shout out to Anthony in the building. Appreciate you, Anthony, for tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. So in the chat, again, they going with heart disease and cancer. A lot of people who die of strokes, you know, a friend of mine not too long ago passed away from a stroke as well, and he was relatively young. Cancer, I'm gonna go with cancer. I lost both my parents back to back due to cancer, but it's just many people overwhelmingly we see pass from cancer. But heart disease is a major, major issue in this country because of the foods we eat traditionally. We think these foods are healthy, you know, we think they're, you know, because it's passed down and we clean it different and we clean it better and we have it a little bit less. Nah, we're not supposed to have the foods that we eat traditionally in our body like that, like for real, for real. If we're gonna have it maybe once a year, but we eat a lot of bad foods and we don't even realize it. Not just in the final meals that we eat, even in the snacks that we have. So I'm not mad at heart disease at all. I'm not mad at that at all. You know, again, my dad passed away. A big part was his heart. So, yeah. So, in the chat again went with cancer and heart disease. I went with cancer. The rest of the world at 56%. Mind y'all, over 106,000 people voted on this. They went with cancer. They went with cancer at 56%, saying it's the leading cause of death in the US of A. When actually, because this is what we think, right? So actually, cancer was number 2 on the list. It was actually number 2 on the list. Intentional injuries was number 3. Strokes was 4. And number 1, they said it in the chat, shout out to Anthony, heart disease is actually the highest of in cause of death in the US of A on this list, the actual statistics. One question we just asked what we think we know, heart disease is the actual number 1 cause of death in the US of A. So be careful what y'all eat. Exercise. You don't have to work out crazy, but remember when you was a little kid and you went to elementary school, you know how you went out and played for an hour? It makes a difference, right? You got proper sleep. You went to bed early, right? Start doing some of those things as you did when you was a kid as far as routine. And physically, you'll see your body change. Your metabolism will change, you know? So again, you know, balance your life. So again, this with heart disease was the number 1 leading cause of death. The actual leading cause of death on this list in the US of A. All right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. Favorite bad boy movie on this list. Favorite bad boy movie on this list. Number 1, Bad Boy 1. Number 2, Bad Boy 2. Number 3, Bad Boy 3. Number 4, Bad Boy 4. And let me say the official name. So again, Bad Boy 3 was Bad Boys for Life, which it should have been 4, right? But I don't think they knew they was gonna make 4 at the time. And Bad Boy 4, Ride or Die. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Your favorite Bad Boy movie on this list. Number 1 is Bad Boys. Number 2, Bad Boys 2. Number 3, Bad Boys 3. Bad Boys for Life. Number 4, Bad Boys 4. Ride or Die. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. All of these movies is fire. I can't take nobody serious when they talk about movies and don't realize that all the Bad Boy franchise, the whole Bad Boy franchise, is absolute fire. Each and every movie. But each and every movie hit different from me. So in my opinion, out of all of these, number 1 was so good because Martin was just so great with the comedy in that one. Part 2, in my opinion, is the best one in the franchise because it was funnier, it had more action, and the villain is Johnny Tapia. Like, yo, Johnny Tapia was mad ruthless and he had charisma. So I'm gonna say 2, and that action was just like how you go from a regular rip to a whole gun fight in the streets Then you take it to the highway. You got cars flying, boats. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bad Boy 2 was on a whole nother level, in my opinion. Bad Boy 3, I honestly feel like had the best story. It had the best story. By far, the best story. But Bad Boy 3, where it fell short for me was the comedy wasn't that great. Martin was good, but I felt like it was kind of forced. Will Smith was doing Will Smith, but nobody else in that movie was funny. In Bad Boy 2, everybody had their moments where they was funny. Bad Boy 1, everybody had their moment. Now, Bad Boy 4, I probably would have said Bad Boy 4 is the best movie on out of the Bad Boy franchise. The only thing about Bad Boy 4, in my opinion, because the action, I wouldn't say it was better than 2, but the camera work in part 4 was on a whole nother level. That camera work was crazy. But where they fall short, because they had a great storyline, the villain wasn't like, he was cool, but he wasn't popping. Like, because the first one you have Fouché popping. Second one, Johnny Tap. Third one was the son and his mom's. And then the fourth one, like, it was cool. Like, he wasn't memorable. You know what I'm saying? So that's where four falls for me in the Bad Boy series. So me personally, I'm going with Bad Boy 2. Funniest one, most action, storyline was great, and it's too many quotables for Bad Boy 2 for me personally. So I'm going with Bad Boy 2. In the chat, I'm seeing a clean sweep of Bad Boy 2 in the chat. Shout out to my dog Patrick Torres, Big Bad Shoulder in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, showing major love. One of our day ones in the building. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Make sure y'all show major love. My dude, I actually met the Spanish lady who played Tapia Mom and Bad Boy 2. Nice lady, rest in peace. For real? Wow, that's what's up. That's what's up. She killed that role as Johnny Tapia Moms. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say Johnny. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say Johnny. It's Johnny Tapia. You know what I'm saying? Like, top tier villain. You feel me? So again, that's what's up. She did a great job playing the mom. You know what I'm saying? And she had her funny parts too. You know what I'm saying? That's why 2 was just on a whole nother level for me when it comes to the comedy and the action. But again, I'm going with 2. The chat sweepingly went with 2. The rest of the world at 39%. Mind y'all, over 211,000 people voted on this. Went with Bad Boy 2. It went with Bad Boy 2. Again, I'm not mad at that. 39% because you had a lot of people go for 1 and you had some people go for 4. So I'm not mad at that. If somebody felt like Bad Boy 1 was the best Bad Boy, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, we got top tier Martin in that, but it wasn't the best action though. You know what I'm saying? And the best storyline. Cool storyline, but not the best. You feel me? Like, because think about the storyline. Like, Lowry went crazy over a woman who give up that box on the regular. Like, she was a high class lady of the night. You know what I'm saying? And he was thinking about locking her down. Like, you Mike Lowry. Like, you the Lowry. You know what I'm saying? Got the plush neo furnished Italian spot. You drive the Porsche. You got all types of women. So the woman that you want to lock it down is a woman that's a lady of the night. That was a little weak to me, but it was just again, funny movie, great action, and great villain in part 1. So that's why I can't give it to part 1. Me personally, I can't give it part 1. But part 3, again, better storyline. The villain was cool, but it just wasn't funny. And like I said, 4 was funny, had a whole lot of action. It's just the villain he was borderline ass. He was a killer, but he was borderline ass. No charisma. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got to go with 2. And the rest of the world went with 2. Shout out to Tom. We got my dog Tom in the building. Ashley and chat family. Sunday blessed, stay consistent and healthy. Appreciate that, my brother. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to Fam in the building. My dog Fam in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. He said my Raiders traded Max Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens for 2 first-round picks. Yeah, I'm not mad at that trade. Max Crosby is a great player, but I don't think he's going to be a franchise building piece because you could tell where the franchise want to go and where he want to go is not on the same timeline. I'm just gonna be honest. So they actually got a good deal for him. 2 first-round picks. I'm saying, like, that's a good deal. You know what I mean? But I'm noticing the best pass rushers is playing basically in one damn division in the NFL. They all play in that AFC North. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shador got hell. You know what I'm saying? Or the quarterbacks in that conference got hell because they got to deal with Myles Garrett. You got to deal with Max Crosby. So and you got to deal with Watt on the Steelers. That's a tough division. You got to worry about pass rushers in that division. Shout out to Tom. I don't see how Matt Crosby is going to help the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens need some offense, and Lamar Jackson needs to become a better playoff football player. The Ravens didn't have that much of a pass rush last year, so that's how that would help. You know, if they got a better defense, it won't be as much pressure on Lamar. But you're absolutely right. Lamar has to play better in the playoffs. But me personally, I don't care if Lamar stinks up the playoffs because it's all about that in the back. You see that red hat in the back. You see that big KC in the back. You know what I'm saying? You see Titletown in the back. So I don't care if Lamar Jackson has an MVP year and plays terribly in the playoffs, as long as my team is the victor. You feel what I'm saying? So, hey, man, they can do what they want to do, man. Hey, man, they can do what they want to do. You feel me? But I have a feeling my Chiefs, we're going to draft amazingly this year. I have a feeling. I have a sneaky feeling we're going to draft amazing this year. Lamar needs to stop running so much. You got Henry. He should be doing most of the running. That's a very fair point. Very fair point. Crosby is nice, but a little overrated in my opinion. I mean, these are valid. These are valid. Again, great players. Sometimes people don't realize the difference between a great player and value and production. Production is somebody being great. You can replace production. I don't think did he have 10 sacks last year? I don't think he did. You know what I'm saying? So you can replace his production. But a great player though. Great player. But it's going to be interesting to see what he can do on a team like the Ravens though. They known for generating, pressure and having a great defense. So we'll see. Ashley, one thing we know that the people better take advantage because Patrick Mahomes is hurt. That's a fact. That's a fact. When he comes back, I guarantee you it's not going to be pretty. Mahomes is the new Tom Brady. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. That's my team. Like I said, I think we're going to draft so well, and then by the time he comes back, it's just going to be on automatic. We're going to put a better team around Patrick Mahomes finally, because for years we've been putting it all on his shoulders. So, but see, here's my thing, and this is what makes your point valid, right? Even though the Raiders gave up Max Crosby, the Ravens is not a a pass rusher away or a disruptor away from winning the chip. See what I'm saying? So that's what makes that trade. I'm going to have to give the edge to the Raiders, especially if they draft well. If y'all draft well, because we know the history of the Raiders' first-round picks. But if y'all draft well, I'm going to say y'all won that trade. because again, Max Crosby is a great player, but his production, are we going to say the Ravens is going to be in the Super Bowl based on his production? I'm going to say no. So 2 first-round picks. If they was on the phone with me, baby, hey, man, I give y'all 2nd round and the 3rd round for Max. Hey, man, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. For real. So they said 2 first rounds. Yeah, we're gonna make the trade today, baby. Yo, yo, hurry this up. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the Raiders, I'm like, yo, hurry this up. You feel me? Max Crosby had 10.5 sacks last year. That's respectable, but again, is dope. Let's give Max Crosby 15 sacks. If Max Crosby has 15 sacks on the Ravens next year, do the Ravens win the Super Bowl? I still say no. So I'm agreeing with y'all that, Lamar has to play better and he needs help on that offense. So I agree with that. The only thing Kansas City needs is a nice running back that could gain over 1,000 yards a year. I love Pacheco, but they need something to give Patrick Mahomes some relief. That's a fact. Everything been on Patrick Mahomes. For a fact. I hope we get Love in the draft. But if we don't, there's 2 other backs that I'll be extremely happy to get in the draft. That will be, I believe, will be like 1,000-yard caliber back. I like Pacheco too, but it's just not enough. His production is not enough. Chiefs better draft Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. I hope so too. I hope so too. Tom is saying no. Fab is saying nope. Why we can't get Love? We can't get Love on the Chiefs? Why we can't get Love on the Chiefs? You know what I'm saying? We got to get Love on the Chiefs. Y'all like, hell no. What you mean, no, y'all? You know what I'm saying? If we could pick them, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't get Love on the team? You feel me? Y'all like, hell no. Love and Patrick Mahomes? Oh, hell no. Now, can you imagine that? Because, it's all seriousness. Anybody that know football, if we get a guy like Jeremiah Love, think of the box he's going to be facing. He's looking at 6 and 7 in the box. He will never look at the box being overload because you got to worry about Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball. It's like, can you imagine when you teams got to really pick their poison? So, hey, he might go earlier than 9. Yeah, I don't think so. There's a possibility. There is a possibility. For sure. There is a possibility. If he goes somewhere between 5 and 8, I can definitely see that. But teams like the Saints is not a running back away from being a great team. Even with Love. He like that Saints offensive line, they cool, but I'm saying they not a running back away. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only team I really, worry about drafting a running back before then. I think Kansas City is going to draft Mike Washington Jr. from Arkansas. Good player. Like there's a lot of great running backs in this draft who have 1st round grades that's going to go in the 2nd round. They're going to go in the 2nd round. So we hope we get a guy like Love. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. It's about production. It's not necessarily about talent. And what I tell people this, the difference is you can have 2 running backs rush the same yards. But somebody with extreme talent, it just looks different. He jumps over people. He's trucking people. It just looks spectacular. But you still get guys who are actually productive without all the, all the special stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's still production is most key. Lamar Jackson is not overrated quarterback. This is a brother that is an MVP quarterback that needs to translate his game into the playoffs. And the Golden Boy Peyton had the same problem. I think it's a bit different. I think fundamentally Lamar Jackson is just not accurate. He can throw. He has a powerful arm, but he's just not fundamentally accurate. That's the only problem that Lamar Jackson has. He's just inaccurate. Not all the time, but when it's time to make those key throws and you got a little weather and it's, we in January, he's going to miss those passes. It is what it is. So that's the biggest thing that keeps Lamar Jackson from transcending into the playoffs, in my opinion. I would say no about Crosby getting 15 sacks, and Baltimore still a great team. Going to the Super Bowl or not winning more playoff games. Yeah, I don't see them winning the Super Bowl. Because to get a guy like Max Crosby, what's the purpose of winning more playoff games? It's not about winning playoffs. You're trying to win the chips. So if they're not winning chips, then the Max Crosby thing is a fail, in my opinion. I hate to say this about the Saints. They started the paper bag putting over the heads. So I want to see the Saints fans. They started to the paper bag over the head. Shout out to Tom Ashley. I know you remember when the Indianapolis Colts was the same division as the Jets, Miami, Buffalo. Right before they broke the divisions up, the Patriots, and every year they went to the playoffs and lost to the Patriots. Facts. Fam, a Lamar Jackson breakdown in the playoff is the game is on the line. And then when Peyton Manning finally beat Tom Brady, he went to the Super Bowl, played Chicago, and they beat Tom Brady again, but by playing with the greatest defense with the Denver Broncos. Yeah, again, Peyton and Lamar is two different things. Two different things. Colts, they just wasn't good enough. As a team overall, they just wasn't good enough to beat the Patriots. Patriots defense, like, what are we talking about? People forget about Ty Law on the other side. Laurie Malloy, Teddy Bruschi, Richard Seymour. That defense was different. People forget how great that Patriots defense was. And not to mention their receiving core wasn't big name guys, but they were scrappy guys. Troy Brown. These dudes were scrappy. You had to strap them up, and you couldn't strap those guys up. So Colts just wasn't good enough. It just wasn't good enough. They had Edgerrin James. They had the receiver, Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison. It just wasn't good enough. Defense was decent, but it wasn't good enough. And Patriots used to run that rock on top of that too. They just wasn't good enough. That's all. Baltimore, just not good enough. Even if Lamar plays great, they're just not good enough. All across the board, they just not good enough. And they don't use Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, and Henry properly together. They still don't use them properly together. But, hey, man, it is what it is. They still don't use them properly together. When I watch the game, they still don't use them properly together. They still saying they missing a big-time receiver. So a guy like Mike Evans, you might see him in a Ravens uniform, which is crazy because I never would think to not see him in the Tampa Bay uniform. So, but a guy like Mike Evans, is the Ravens Mike Evans away from winning the Super Bowl? No. Great player, but they don't use these guys properly. So that my opinion. I could be completely wrong. They could get Mike Evans, get Max Crosby, and go to the Super Bowl, right? But they don't use the guys properly, in my opinion. When you win an MVP and not win the Super Bowl, like Mahomes, that's different. Lamar was winning the MVPs and not getting into the Super Bowl. Yeah, because you got to remember, like, the MVPs is a big deal, but as great as Lamar Jackson is, to me, an MVP is somebody that had an outstanding year. Doesn't make you the best player in the league. Because if you win the MVP and the best player in the league help his team to win Super Bowls, You feel what I'm saying? It's not hollow because Lamar Jackson is a great player. It's never hollow, but you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen guys win the MVP over Michael Jordan, and we like Michael Jordan's the best player in the league, but those guys had great years. They had great years. I seen Karl Malone, Barkley have great years in the NBA. Had a great year. But we all knew who was the best player in the league and who won the chips those years. Those years. See what I'm saying? So Tom Brady didn't stop getting his MVPs. He didn't stop getting his MVPs until he turned 30 something. And that's what I'm saying about Max Crosby. He plays great. Give them 17 sacks to the Baltimore Ravens. Do they get to the Super Bowl? No, they might win 2 rounds. I agree. I agree for sure. I agree for sure. I agree for sure. Baltimore Ravens, good team, good season team, normally a good season team. But in the playoffs, they're not a great team. They're a good season team, but they're not a great playoff team when it counts. Because fundamentally, I keep saying it, Lamar Jackson is not accurate. So I don't care if they get a pass rusher. I don't care if they get another receiver. It won't matter until he gets accurate. It's just simple and plain. It's just simple and plain. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our Hollywood Need to Ask Us segment. I came up with this segment because there's a lot of trash-ass movies in Hollywood or Netflix, because Netflix is buying up everything. And I got better ideas for both movie or a movie series. I had mentioned this before in the old format, but I have not mentioned it in the new format. I would love to see a movie crossover Matrix and the Terminator. And the biggest reason why is because the original writer of the Terminator is the same person that wrote the Matrix, believe it or not. And somehow Hollywood got a hold of the stories, and they did the movies without giving her the proper credit. I believe that the lady name is Sophia Stewart, if I'm not mistaken. If in the chat, if I'm wrong, then please do correct me. But I would love to see a crossover movie again with the Terminator and the Matrix. I will call this the second Resistance, Genesis. The story will basically be centuries after the fall of John Connor. The machines have perfected the Matrix. However, there's a ghost in the machine, and it's been laying dormant due to Skynet's protocol. And y'all know how Skynet get down. And the protocol threatens to delete the simulation and return back to the total human extension of given the control. And I think this would be an absolute fire movie. Of course, this will be sci-fi. Of course, this will be rated R. My director for this movie, I have to go with James Cameron. My music score would be Don Davis. My art director will be Rick Carter. My producer will be Gail A. Hurd. My co-writers will be the Wachowskis, Sophia Stewart, and obviously myself. And my foundational actors, can't do this movie without Keanu Reeves, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Hugo Weaving, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, and Gabriel Luna. And that's my foundational actors for this movie. This is going to be absolute fire. If people was to see this, I think people would run to the movie theaters to see this. Run to the movie theaters. Can you imagine Neo versus the Terminator? And not just one Terminator, like a few of them. You know what I'm saying? This will be too fire in my opinion. And I think y'all would absolutely run to the movies to see this. So that's my Hollywood Need to Ask Us for this episode. Again, I will call this the second Resistance, Genesis, Terminator versus Matrix, the crossover. And I think that this would be absolutely fire. Shout out to the chat. I would love to see that. I'm telling you, this will be fire. This will be a fire movie to tap into. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. We have way more than 7 people in the chat. YouTube update the people in the chat. Like, this is crazy. It's way more. than the 7 in the chat. So again, this will be absolute fire. Again, y'all hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show, and it boosts that chat. I would love to see that, my dog fam. I would turn Demolition Man into a TV series. That's a good idea. I like that idea. I like that idea. The only problem is, like, can Wesley pull it off at this stage of the game? Can he? Because Simon Phoenix is a top tier villain. You know what I'm saying? Can he pull that off? That's all I ask regarding that. Can he pull that off? You know what I'm saying? Or we're going to reprise it with different people. You know, we'll get somebody new for Sylvester. Because I mean, the reason why the Terminators work is because they're Terminators, right? So Arnold Schwarzenegger and Keanu Reeves, they could get away with it because they're not like 70-year-old men chasing people down and beating them up, right? They're Terminators, they're machines, right? So you look past that, right? But Simon Phoenix, I mean, but you're saying he can. You're saying that they can. Okay. I would love to see it. I would love to see it, for sure. For sure. That's a great idea. I would love to see it. The only thing I hate about the 90s, though, we had so much crack, fire movies, fire shows, and we waited so long to reprise them. That's the only thing I hate about the 90s, because 90s we had such great content, such great material, such great shows and movies, and we waited years to reprise them. The thought of even reprising these movies, the thought, like The Best Man, classic movie, they waited 20-some years to do a part 2, then a part 3, then they do a series. Bad Boys, they stopped at Bad Boys 2. Mind you, the first Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2, that has some distance. And then from Bad Boys 2 to Bad Boys 3, it was like damn near 20 years later, right? So that's the only thing I hate about the 90s, is that we had such great movies and we wait so long to reprise this stuff. What do you tell a woman? Shout out to C35 in the building. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah. Show some love. Shout out to C35. Appreciate you for tapping in. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our must-see segment. I'm going to give out 3 Eddie Murphy Awards to 3 fire must-see movies. First movie up came out in 1989, directed by Steven Spielberg. This movie stars Harrison Ford, Sean Connery, Allison Dooley, River Phoenix, and Julian Glover. My first Eddie Murphy award goes to Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. I think this is the best Indiana Jones of the bunch. I have to be honest. This is a fire must-see movie. I'm not going to spoil it for y'all at all. Just go tap into the damn movie. It's a fire movie if you've never seen it. And it still holds up. Came out 1989. We in 2026. And this movie still holds up. Second Eddie Murphy award goes to the movie. Came out in 1991. Directed by Topper Carew. This movie stars Martin Lawrence, John Witherspoon, Tommy Lister Jr., Phyllis Yvonne Stickney, Jada Jones, Daryl Savad, and Renee Jones. This movie is called Talking Dirty After Dark. Fire must-see movie. It is a comedy. I believe this is Martin Lawrence's first star movie that he's ever did or ever done. His first star movie. The movies he did prior to, The House Parties, those movies was basically, I believe that came out in 1991 as well. But this is the first one he starred in. He didn't star in the House Party movies. But this movie is about a young comic. And just go watch the rest of the movie. It's a fire, must-see movie. You're going to see a whole lot of legends from, well, that's legends today. But back in the day, they was You know, they were super duper young and it was super duper funny. So make sure y'all tap in to see again the movie called Talking Dirty After Dark. My third and final Eddie Murphy Award goes to the movie that came out in 2002, directed by Martin Scorsese, stars Daniel Day-Lewis, Cameron Diaz, Leonardo DiCaprio, uh, Brendan Gleeson, and Jim Broadbent. This movie is called Gangs of New York. Fire, must see movie. It is fire. It sounds what it is. Time period piece movie in New York City. Gangs running rapid, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't spoil it. So again, make sure you tap in to see Gangs of New York. So my three Eddie Murphy awards goes to the movie Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, Talking Dirty After Dark, and Gangs of New York. Make sure y'all tune and tap into those movies. And if y'all watch these movies, come back and let me know what y'all think. Yeah, some people came back and said they saw The Lady Killer. Love that movie. So let me know what y'all think about these movies when y'all go watch them. Y'all can catch these movies on anything, Tubi, YouTube. These movies are very available. A shout out to Fam in the building. Talking Dirty After Dark in 1991, cult classic comedy film that served as the first starring vehicle for actor Martin Lawrence. That is a fact, word for word, bro. That is a fact, word for word. That is a fact, word for word. It is so funny. It is so funny, especially if you love 90s movies like me. It is such a great movie. So make sure y'all tap into all these movies, especially Talking Dirty After Dark. It's a whole bunch of legends in this movie too, a whole bunch. So make sure y'all tap into these movies. Gang of New York is legendary. Fuck. All these movies is legendary. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. All these movies are legendary. Gangs of New York, top tier. Talking Dirty After Dark, top tier comedy. Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, come on. Come on. Steven Spielberg, Sean Connery, The Last Crusade. What are we talking about? This is out of here. These are fire must-see movies. So make sure y'all tap in to see these movies. And again, when y'all watch them, come back. Let me know if this is your first time watching these movies. It's amazing to me when I find out that a lot of people haven't seen a lot of the movies that I've seen because I'm, a movie buff. So make sure y'all tap into these movies. Come back. Let me know what y'all think about these. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, to the Michael Jackson Awards. I'm going to give y'all 3 fire must-have songs on y'all playlist. And I'm going to give out some Michael Jackson awards. So my first Michael Jackson award goes to the song, and again, the profile artist for tonight, again, whether it's hip-hop or R&B, whether it's new or old, I'm going to give y'all a fire artist to tap into. So the artist tonight is called In Phase. Again, In Phase, R&B group from the 90s. So make sure y'all put these 3 songs on your playlist. So the first Michael Jackson award goes to their song, Spend the Night. Fire song. So put that on y'all playlist. Again, it's called Spend the Night. Second Michael Jackson award goes to their song called 69 Ways. Fire song, is super duper sexy. Make sure y'all put that on y'all playlist. And the third and final Michael Jackson award goes to their song called Last Teardrop. So make sure y'all put those 3 songs on y'all playlist. Again, first Michael Jackson award goes to the song Spend the Night. Second, 69 Ways. Third, Last Teardrop. Again, the group is called In, the letter N, Phase. So make sure y'all tap into that music. It is fire, and tap in. All right, y'all. Y'all already know we about to book those tickets, about to catch them flights for our next segment. Send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. Y'all know how we do. We type in T to send it to Turkey, or we type in not to send it to Turkey. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. A shout out to my dog Patrick Torres, big badge holder in the building. I heard there's a prequel to the Rambo franchise coming called John Rambo. They started filming in January. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. If that is true, my only question how are they going to use Sylvester Stallone? Because again, John Rambo wasn't a cyborg. He wasn't a Terminator. He wasn't, something that's super human. He was a soldier and a damn good one. So we talking about going back in time. I'm, interested to know, will they replace him with a younger, actor, which would make more sense if he's going to be running and jumping and in the woods and all that stuff. That's my only question if they do that. So, but I didn't hear about that, but that's dope. Now I heard that. So to be on the lookout for the new Rambo, the prequel. That should be fire. If they write it well and they cast it well, it should be out of the park. It should be out of the park. Uh, they're using a different actor, not Stallone. See, yeah, it's a younger actor. See, that's the only way it's gonna work. That's the only way it's gonna work. That's the only way it's gonna make sense. So I actually love that. So I hope they got the right actor on top of that. But I'm actually looking forward to it now that he's not playing John Rambo. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all. So send them to Turkey or not. Send them to Turkey or not. Again, type in T to send it to Turkey. Type in N not to send it to Turkey. First one of the night. It's official. Former Michigan head coach Sharon Moore, felony charges have been dropped. The judge has ruled that his mistress was not a victim of stalking. And the evidence have shown that in court, it proved that he was set up. And he was set up and the cops withheld evidence. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we typing T to send? Well, we can't send Sharon Moore to Turkey, but are we sending the court system to Turkey? Are we sending T? Are we typing in T to send it to Turkey, the court system, based on letting him go? Or we saying not, based on their findings and getting it right? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I thought this was quite interesting when I seen this. Mainly because y'all know I'm a big Michigan fan. I've been a Michigan fan all my life, straight out the crib. I honestly believe that Sharon Moore was a scapegoat. We just wasn't playing up to the Michigan standard. Mind you, last year we went 9-3. Not a bad record, but 9-3 is not good enough at the University of Michigan for our football team. The year prior to, we went 8-5, and we finished the season beating number 1 Ohio State, beating a really good Alabama team. But 8-5 is not good enough, bro. Even beating Ohio State and even beating Alabama. Now, honestly, if we would have lost to Ohio State that year, I think he would have lost his job. Now, prior to all this coming out, they knew of this situation between him and the mistress, as in the school, for about a month before all of this happened. So it was quite interesting how the school fired him, and not even 24 hours later, he gets arrested, and it becomes a whirlwind for Coach Sharon Moore. Now, do I believe he should have kept his job as the Michigan head coach? I honestly believe that he should have got another year. But I also understand you lose to Ohio, you got to roll, dog. You got to go. Straight like that. We did not look competitive against Ohio. And we've been beating the dog out of Ohio for the last 4 years. And I'm not talking about from a scoreboard standpoint. I'm talking about from a physicality standpoint. We didn't show up physically last year. So at the end of the day, he was underperforming. And he had to go. I honestly think we got to upgrade at our coaching position with Kyle Whittingham from Utah. But doesn't mean that Sharon Moore should have been locked up and should have had to go through this ordeal in his personal life. Mind you, he has to accept accountability because ain't nobody telling him to mess with that woman. And the reason why that's a big deal, because it says it on his contract. You cannot mess with your staff or have a relationship with members on your staff. You cannot do that. That's in the contract. So because it's in the contract, you shouldn't have been doing it. Forget all the moral aspect of it. Because some people, a lot of the women be like, well, he shouldn't have been cheating on his wife. And then you got the sisters be like, well, she was a white girl on top of that too. That doesn't matter, yo. People gonna do what they want to do. Should he have cheated on his wife? If she considered that cheating. If she considered that cheating. If she did, then he shouldn't have did it. Some marriages have understandings. But let's say her understanding was him being faithful. He shouldn't have did it. But if he's going to do it, he shouldn't have been doing it with somebody on his staff. Simple and plain. Contract null and void. So, but I still don't believe that he should have been, went through this ordeal, been charged for stalking and pursuing this young lady when they had a relationship. He was, asked to come through, I don't want to say the actual details, but the evidence that they said that they had, that he pulled up on her, that he basically forced his way in, that he's been blowing up her phone. None of that was true, and it was withholding information, which led to the dropping of this case. So me personally, I can't send the court system to Turkey because they got it right. But there's an aspect where you can't send it to Turkey because y'all knew y'all was just like, y'all kind of knew he was going to get off. That's what it feel like. But y'all just, when somebody walk out the door, they can't just like walk out the door. They didn't do a good job. Like, it's like they got to be disgraced. Then, like we're going to muddy you up some before you walk out that door. So, that's how I look at it too. Shout out to the chat. Send the cops to Turkey. Shout out to Patrick. Ebony. And you're the only one talking about it. The world takes part in tearing somebody down, but when the truth comes out, everything gets quiet. That's very interesting that you say that. That's very interesting that you say that, because I haven't seen many other people talk about this on their outlets on getting the story straight, but I did see people when the story dropped that he got arrested, he was stalking, everybody and their mother was talking about it. But the fact that his case got dropped because of the lack of evidence, and with the evidence that was shown, that the evidence was withheld, nobody is talking about that. So I agree with that. Shout out to you, Ebony. Shout out to fam. Send the court systems to Turkey and the cop to Turkey with no return back to America. Love that. I love that. I love that. Because they was withholding evidence, yo. Like, like people that work in law enforcement, it's like they get jaded based on their own, like, built-in discriminations. It's like, yeah, you deserve that because I say you deserve that. But we're supposed to believe in blind justice, right? That's the spooky part. Shout out to Tom. I think it was a dude or some type of guy that caught them and spilled the beans. Plus, she was getting paid a little extra more than usual. Why isn't ESPN talking about this? Great question, Patrick. Great question. Great question. Nobody is talking about this. When you get the story right and it holds you in a better light, nobody says anything. But when it comes down to muddy you up a little bit, yeah, we're going to tear that name up. We're going to make sure that name is no good nowhere. It's not enough that you lose your job. It's like, all right, damn, I didn't do well enough to keep my job, but I could go get another job at a smaller school and I could build my way back up. Nah, baby. Nah, we're going to muddy you all the way up. Oh, you was that coach that got caught in that scandal. Yeah, you got off, but it was still a scandal, bro. Like, whoa. it's going to be a while before Sharon Moore be able to get a job in coaching in the college ranks, especially as a head coach. He's going to have to go all the way back to being a position coach, and it's going to have to be at a much smaller school, so much to the point where the school don't get any pub, and they need his expertise at the school. The money's not going to be the same, and that pub can't be the same, because now the media is going to muddy him up some more. Oh, the famed coach. They love to muddy you up, but when it comes to getting the story right and getting some of that dirt off your shoulder, they not here for that. That's not their job, baby. Did y'all know the news can mislead with information and it's cool? Their job is not to tell us the truth. Did y'all know that? If you do the research, the news job is not to tell us the truth. The news job is to inform. Inform us with what? Inform us whatever they want to inform us with. That's how that go. Yeah, I wasn't. Okay, so I missed. So I got that one plus. So I got that one. Yeah, so I just wanted y'all to know that. That's what the real agenda of the news. I had an uncle that, back in the 90s, we little kids, he come in the house, he was like, yo, why y'all watching the idiot box? Get away from the idiot box. You know what I'm saying? Go outside, go play. Go do something creative. You know what I'm saying? Get away from the idiot box. That's why he called it the idiot box, because whatever came on the news, people just believed it, and they wouldn't do their own investigation. And mind you, back in those times, most people wasn't doing their own investigation and getting their own story of things, because media and TV ran how the world was in the 90s, TV and newspapers. And if it was in the newspapers or on TV, it must be true. So the technology age has freed us in a lot of ways. He might have to go to a community college as a head coach. Bro, that's real. That's real. I can see that. Michigan Community College. I can see that. Or not even Michigan. Or Iowa Community College. Snow Community College at Utah. If y'all know about Snow, Snow is a great community college. Nassau Community College in Long Island. I can see that. I can see that. Georgia Military Community College in Atlanta, Georgia. Blaine Community College in Texas. There's quite a few. Quite a few. And he's going to have to be able to rebuild, because the story got right, but nobody's trying to clean up that name. So I just found that very interesting. I always say the only way to truly be informed is to get your news from multiple outlets, not just one. I love that. Shout out to Patrick for that. Big Bad Shoulder. Shout out to Patrick. I love that. Fam. I'm sorry, I always say fam. New York Community College. Yeah, if New York Community College had a football team, right? That's the only thing I don't like about New York City, is that we don't have a D1 football team. We got two D1 AA teams in New York City. Two. And they're decent in their league, but like there's no New York City school that's popping. You know what I'm saying? Playing the Big Ten, playing the ACC. And to me, that's easy. You can have Brooklyn College popping. You can have, even though there is a Brooklyn, a Long Island University, but they play in Long Island, right? But it's not popping yet. You know what I'm saying? And it's no diss. But there's nothing in the city that's like, yo, they must see football. And it's an easy fix. St. John's could have been popping. In the 90s, St. John's played in D1 AA. So you got Columbia plays D1 AA. They play in the Ivy Leagues, like they play Cornell and Princeton, Yale. That's cool. That ain't big time college football, bro. Then you have the The other school in the Bronx that I always forget, Fordham. There we go, Fordham University. Fordham. If you play basketball, that's great for basketball. But for football, they play D1 AA. Good football. They have a good team. But it's not pop and it's not D1. It's not ACC. It's not Big Ten football. So that's the only thing New York City is missing is a college football team. They'll be popping. It'll get crazy. Borough of Manhattan Community College. Yo, fam, you stupid. You stupid. BMCC. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to say Sharon Moore could coach at BMCC, get the football team popping? That's grimy. Uh, but at least we got St. John's. Can't wait to see them in March Madness. Yeah, St. John's got basketball. Like New York City, y'all know we got basketball teams, but y'all know what it is. College football runs this shit. If we don't have college football, we don't got nothing. I love the fact we nice in basketball, but even the nicest guys in basketball don't even go to St. John's. And I believe John Calipari, not John Calipari, what's the other great coach? Oh my God, he used to coach Louisville, Kentucky. Oh my God, I can't think of his name, but he coaches St. John's now. Great coach. I can't think of his name. It's only because I'm on live. Y'all know how I get on live. I forget names, but even he gets good players, but we don't see the players normally go to like North Carolina, Kansas, Duke. We don't get those players at St. John's. It's New York City. Why not? Like a couple years ago, Rutgers, they did have Ace Bailey and they had Dylan Harper. I love that. That made sense. So why more New York schools don't have the top tier guys in New York? Like you got good. Are we good? Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Let me know if y'all can see me. What's good, y'all? I don't know what happened. Had to make sure that everything was in right. Chat disconnected. Please wait to reconnect you. Yeah, I don't know what happened, y'all. Let me know if y'all see me. Shout out to y'all for those who still here. We had some technical difficulties, and yeah, man. I don't know what happened there just now, but uh, hopefully y'all see me and we'll get this together and right. Uh, Make sure my computer's back on. Like everything just went off. I'm like, what the hell? So I don't know what happened. Yup. You lost power. Yo, it got crazy. He had to switch that generator. That's a fact. Good looking out, y'all. Good looking out, y'all. I don't know what happened. Like it's just everything went blank on your boy. But I appreciate y'all back in the building, showing love. Uh, is this together? Okay. 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 All right. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. Like I said, appreciate the major love. We were just talking about how Sharon Moore, the coach of Michigan University, nobody's covering the story, and that basically everybody was basically throwing dirt on this man's name. The fact that basically at the end of the day, he was looking at a situation where his whole career was in jeopardy, complete jeopardy, and it's just now he's basically getting his career back. So, hold on 1 second, my bad, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the type of time Sharon Moore was on. And he was able to clear his name, and thank God he was able to do that. So, again, I want to thank y'all in the chat, showing major love, and continue to rock with your boy. Had some sort of technical difficulty, and we took care of all of that. So, again, I appreciate y'all for staying in here. All right, y'all, moving on to our next sending them to Turkey or nah, sending them Turkey or nah. Again, typing T to send it to Turkey. Typing in not to send it to Turkey. Next one of the night. A man goes viral after a video. A man goes viral after being engaged, then finding out his fiance has a best friend who is a man. He calls off the wedding after being in a relationship for a whole year. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, a man goes viral after being engaged, then finding out that his fiance, her best friend, is a man. After being together for a whole year, he calls off the wedding. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we typing T to send him to Turkey? Or are we typing in not to send him to Turkey based on him basically canceling the wedding? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. Me personally, looking at this situation, again, this man went viral, finding out that his girlfriend has a best friend who happens to be a man. Mind you, he's been together with her for a whole year, but just finding this out. Me personally, this man has always been around, but obviously it was strategic on her part that she did not let him know that her best friend was actually a dude. I can understand how any man has a reservation if his wife or soon to be wife, girlfriend, fiance has a best friend that happens to be a man. I can understand that reservation wholeheartedly. But there's another side to that as well too. You have to be able to read energy and understand what type of woman that you have. Like, let's keep it real. Some women can have male best friends without doing anything with them, without having any type of sexual contact, have any type of history of doing anything or even wanting to do things. There's a few men who have women best friends and vice versa, where they grew up together and basically their moms was best friends. So he kind of see her as sister or little sister or big sister or vice versa. There are situations like that. But most of the time, 8 out of 10, when a man is a bestie of a woman, they didn't have some sort of relationship before, and they love each other, but they don't love each other enough, like in a romantic way. It's like, yo, I love you. We used to mess around, but I don't want to deal with you in that capacity anymore. But I'ma still look out for you, like a little sister or something like that. Even though that's kind of like what? But that's also very real too. So I can understand that aspect of it as well too. But would I be comfortable if, my fiance, girlfriend, soon to be has a best friend and he happens to be a guy? I'm not gonna lie. First and foremost, I'm gonna look at the energy. Because if the energy tells me is more, had been more, or could be more, I'm not even gonna be with her. Because it's not for her. It's like it's for her. Like neither one of them can make me feel comfortable. I just have to be comfortable with it. Simple and plain. And that's all in energy. If their energy was like, oh yeah, they cool, they not messing around with each other. If I peep that, then yeah, I would be okay with it. Especially the type of relationships that I have when I'm in a relationship. So me personally, it really depends on energy. But I'm not mad at him for looking at the situation and feeling like, yo, whether they used to mess around or not, he don't care about nothing about that, baby. He out the door. Because most men feel like men and women cannot be friends. I honestly believe there are exceptions to the rule, obviously, for sure. I know plenty of women who I don't want physically and I do business with, and we just cool. What I call him a friend? Not really, but we cool. We have a good working relationship, right? Ah, I don't have too many women that I would call friends, and uh, we're cool. But are we friends? Do we talk on the phone? Do we go out and just hang and chill? No. Uh, I don't know. Maybe there's one, maybe two-ish. Yeah. And those women I've never did anything with. Didn't even think about doing anything with them. But one of them wanted to do something with me, and I shut it down because I just wasn't attracted to it. So again, can men and women really be friends? So I'm not surprised that this man being with his lady for a year, then finding out she has a male best friend, he calls off the engagement. I'm not surprised. So I can't send him to Turkey for that. I can't send him to Turkey. Shout out to Ebony. Honestly, most besties already slept together. She said it, not me. I'm saying. She said it, not me. A shout out to Fam. He had a 304. He was blind to the red flag. I'll send him to Turkey. Y'all send their bro to Turkey because he should have seen it earlier. I don't think some women even understand the ramifications of that. Obviously, not all, but some. Like, ladies, if you give another man access of you, you call him your friend, and he could very well be your friend, right? But just because you call him your friend doesn't make it like it's cool. The man that you're with, he has to see the situation for what it is first and foremost. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing that she's going to be able to do or he is going to be able to show to make that man feel comfortable. He just have to peep the situation for what it is and be comfortable with it. He could look at it and be like, yeah, they really are friends. They don't like each other. Like, she don't like him. Like fellas, we know when we have girlfriends and things of that nature, we know if your girl, you know who your girl like and don't like. You're like, yeah, she don't like him. Y'all friends? Oh, all right, that's cool. All right, that's cool. As long as she don't call him her work husband or some silly shit like that, right? All right, that's cool. But guys, we know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but we also got the spidey sense. Like, oh, y'all used to mess around. Oh, yeah, nah, I'm out, baby. I'm out. I don't want to come between you and your friend. It's cool. Y'all been friends way longer than me and you have been a couple. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Good luck to that. So I can't send him to Turkey, me personally, but in the chat, y'all sending him to Turkey. And I'm not mad at that either. But again, I believe that it was a tactic on her to keep her best friend or bestie a secret until, you know, she got the engagement and like, you know, she tried to like, yo, but we engaged now. Like, so what's up? And he wasn't going for it. He wasn't going for it. So again, I can't be mad at him for that. And I can see that happening. Dude was not having it. So again, I'm not mad at that at all. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snap, so you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Again, that's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night and time to rap. Question. Is it fake if your former teammates don't go to your funeral? Is it fake? Is it phony on their part if your former teammates that look at you like a brother, they're your teammates, you pass away, and they don't come to your funeral? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And time to rap. The reason why I asked this question, rest in peace to Rondell Moore, receiver for a couple of NFL teams, but most notably the Arizona Cardinals. He was such a standout at the University of Purdue. And recently he passed away. And he was only about 24, 25, if I'm not mistaken. Very young man, still had a whole lot of life to live. But one of his bros, Kyle Pitts, great receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, obviously went to his funeral. And he made mention and felt a type of way that only 6 or 7 of his former teammates even came to his funeral. So that's why I asked the question, is it fake that your former teammates, people who revere you as a brother, do not come to your funeral? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. That helps with the growth of the show. This is episode 242. No, 200, yeah, 242. Yeah, yeah, see? Got my numbers mixed up. 242. Again, make sure y'all tap into the membership portion of the page. We had over 10 new memberships gifted tonight. So again, shout out to King P for showing major love. Uh, some people can't deal with funerals. I can respect that. I can respect that. They said some people, the chat is saying some people can't deal with funerals. There is something that's something to that. That is absolutely something to that. Some people cannot see themselves walking into the funeral and seeing that final state of their friend, of their brother, however they see this person that they revere. I understand that. Me personally, I have been to quite a few funerals throughout the years on people who was my friends, and that was the final state that I see them in. I kind of wish I didn't see them like that, because that was the last image of my head, in my head, that I have of them. And prior to that, you know, it was something happy, right? So there's something to that. There's something. Some people just can't deal with funerals. I get that, for sure. Me personally, I don't look at it as being fake. Now, honestly, when you go to the funerals, it's for the family. It's really to help the family grieve. The more faces that they see and the more support that they get, it does help the family through the process. Simple and plain. And also, if the person who passed away was impactful, for sure, for sure. When both my parents passed away, when my brother passed away, there was, people came and represented, and it meant the world to me. So you're never going to get the amount of love on your way out as you do in your living form, right? So do I call it fake? I wouldn't say necessarily that it's fake, because again, some people cannot deal with funerals. They said it right in the chat. Shout out to fam. Some people just can't deal with it. And some people, like, let's be real, some people financially is not in a position to, when somebody pass away, even though that's very traumatic, to be able to take off work and go to the funeral that may be states away. If you live in Georgia and somebody passed away in Houston, right? When people work check to check in this economy, some people may not be able to get off. If the funeral is in Indiana and you live in Florida, some people may not be able to chance to get off. Even if you live in the same city and you got kids, you got to pick somebody up from daycare, you got all these things going on, people still live their lives. So is it fake? No, I wouldn't say it's fake. You would like it for people to show up, but I wouldn't say it's fake. I wouldn't say it's fake. So I definitely agree with that. One of my best friends passed away, and I didn't go to his funeral. I stole his family. I told his family I could not go, but I helped with the funeral. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes life just be happening, yo. And I honestly believe that it's individual based. It's not just like, but I also understand where Mark Pitts is coming from, because we're talking about a guy, Rondell Moore, who's played at least 4 years of college. He's played in the NFL, 4 or 5 years? So if you think about it, you mean to tell me basically one person per team was able to come to the funeral? We didn't even talk about high school teammates, little league teammates. We didn't even talk about that. So I get that aspect of it too. It's like, damn, y'all really didn't show up for this, man. So this give and take on both sides. But life be happening, yo. Life be happening. There's never a good time to die for everybody else. Like, damn, you picked a good time to die. I could go to your funeral. I can help the family with the cost. It's never a good time, bro. Sometimes it's just bad timing, bro. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate. It's messed up, but life moves on. Yikes. Wow. I was a bit morbid, but yeah, it's more or less the same. But yeah, again, I can't call it fake all the way. It's situational based. It's very situational based for me. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. And don't forget, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. A bomb, a bomb threat on the plane from from Nashville, Tennessee to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Video goes viral, and a possible terrorist threat. Uh, when you had basically the tactical unit gets on the plane and said, "Head up, head down, hands up." To neutralize the threat of the plane. Uh, they did get a young man off the plane and said that he was the threat and he made threats, and they neutralized him. They didn't unalive him, but they was able to get him off the plane, and it was emergency landing as well. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, a bomb threat on a plane from Nashville, Tennessee to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Video goes viral, and a possible terrorist threat. Again, tactical team, heads down, hands up. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, in light of what's going on in the world, we have to be ready for sleeper cells. This is a part of the backlash of any type of war that we may or may not have coming up. Simple and plain. And as the U.S., and y'all see me in fatigue tonight, but as the U.S., we have to be on top of our game. And somebody will say, well, that's kind of like cynical to say. It's like, but what is there else to say? We in the U.S., our children is in the U.S., we build in the U.S. What is there else to say? We have to protect ourselves. Now, is there a way where we could diffuse any beefs in other countries? And if we could diffuse those situations without going to war, without having some sort of casualty, innocent casualty, of course. And I'm down for that cause as well, too. But we have to keep ourselves safe. We have to do the things and the protocols to make sure that we're good, that we still able to get up, take our children to school, feed, and still have our society. But let's keep it real. All of these things did not just start when President Trump got in office. These things have always been a low-level threat from the beginning of time. That's like somebody, if you think about it on a smaller scale, you ever be cool with somebody, but you don't have beef with them, but y'all cool. But the type of energy I have, it could go either way on any given day. And it's just that day, you're going to fight about this. And then there's going to be discourse, and then there's going to be backlash. There's going to be casualties. But is there space where it can be resolved so that there is at least no casualties or innocent casualties? For sure. So these type of things, I'm not surprised, or this type of thing, I'm not surprised happen in light or in the wake of, U.S. and Israel attacking Iran. So I'm kind of, I don't want to say prepared for this, but this doesn't surprise me at the very least. Shout out to fam. Kyle Pitts responds. Pitts posted on his Instagram story, slamming former teammates for displaying fake emotion by posting tributes online while failing to show up in person to lay to lay you to rest. Yes, yeah. When we talked about Rondell Moore, yep. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But yeah, so again, regarding this situation, regarding this bomb threat on the plane, I'm not surprised. I'm glad no one got hurt. I'm glad they caught this individual in time, and I hope they continue to do their due diligence to catch anybody that's trying to pull any kamikaze uh, situations in our country. Like, I remember when 9/11 happened just like yesterday, because I was a junior in high school. I was in first period class when this happened, and I kind of thought, like, again, they did that again? Like, what are they talking about? Because you remember the World Trade Center, they had a bomb scare, well, not a bomb scare, they had a bomb go off a couple years prior to that. But the point that I'm making, being in the place that we are in right now in this country, when basically it's like, yo, sometimes we have to use war or the threat of war to get peace, or sometimes we could just be diplomatic and just find a common resolution to get peace. So I always hope for the diplomatic route, but I'm down for whatever to keep us safe. Seriously. I don't know who's not in favor of their own best interest. I don't know who moves against their own best interest. But us being a human race, we always concern ourselves with other people first. When you're on the plane, they say what? Secure you, then you can help somebody else. So let's secure us first, then we can reach out and touch someone. Especially when they want us to, especially when it's going to be reciprocal with love. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, so again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 12. Make sure y'all take advantage of those memberships. We just had over 10 new memberships tonight gifted. So make sure y'all take advantage of it as well. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. I feel like somebody needs to hear this because it's been going on amongst our community. There was a study done that most young men, 25 to 35, have the mindset of thinking that they behind the eight ball. And me, being in, me being in the music business, and have other businesses as well. A lot of young men in that age range feel like they are behind the eight ball, feel like they are not where they want to be in their life. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Do y'all agree? Is that a reasonable mindset? Is that a negative mindset? Is that something that's common to y'all? Is that something that's uncommon to y'all? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, I've always known, as a young kid, I've always known what I wanted to do. Now, when I speak of the young men today, it's honestly lack of direction and lack of mentorship. And I think us that are in their late 30s, early 40s, I don't think we did a good enough job with our leadership in helping our younger brothers, our nephews, our sons, in helping them trying to figure it out without doing something big, like, what they say, you're not going to get out unless you're nice in music, or you're great in sports, right? There's other avenues. But there's two sides to that, because I know plenty of men who navigate their son who's not in sports, or they're not in sports, or not in music, and they people that just want to get their education, and they looking to go into the field that they looking to go into and be successful. But I feel like I must say this: any young person, or any young man, or grown man, I should say, like they little kids, but any grown man that's 25 to 35, and you don't feel like you're not where you need to be, it's okay. It's okay. Because guess what? Tomorrow is tomorrow. Make a plan. It's only a problem if you don't have a plan. I used to think this when I was 18. I'm like, damn, when I'm 22, I'm just going to be getting my education at 22. That seems old. That feels old to be getting my bachelor's at 22. Damn, that feels old. Why am I getting my bachelor's at 22? It should be 20 or it should be 21. So that way I have my whole life ahead of me. Because I couldn't see me being 41 that I am now. Couldn't see that back at 19, back at 18, back at 19. Couldn't see that. So it's like, yo, I'm 17. How am I just getting my education at 21, 22? That don't make sense to me. And by the time I'm 21, like it's going to take me another year just to get my own place. It's going to take me another year to get me a car. This is going to take me another year to get my money all the way right. Like, these are the type of things that young men think about. And then society thing, the societal things that you have to be a provider. Don't be a dad on top of that, which I was. You have to be a provider. You have to be a protector. And then you chase the things that you want to do on top of that. And that takes money, right? Don't feel like you're behind the eight ball. Get educated and work. Get educated and work. And if you do that, you're going to create the opportunities. So by the time you're 35, 36, 37, and it will come around, you done put yourself in a place, no matter what age you are, that you put yourself ahead of the line. You put yourself ahead of the line, because all it takes to be an adult for real is to make some consistent money. That's all it really is. Whether you get educated or not, get the type of education that's going to get you paid. You could get a trade and get paid. You could get education and get paid. You could be under mentorship and a certain type of tutelage and get paid. Because most people, they don't look at for real resumes. Let's keep it real. You work with who you know. You work with who you're comfortable with. So if you know how to play the game and you educate yourself the right way in the field that you're going for, get the right mentorship, get the right direction, you can make you some money. Especially if you love doing what you set out to do. So that's my main thing. So for any of y'all that's any men or man out there that's 25 to 35, make you a plan first and foremost. And whatever the plan is, love what you do. So that way now when you're working or you start a business or you work with a company, you actually like doing that shit. You don't care about the time. You don't look at your watch like, damn, when I'm going to get up out of here. Nah. Ain't no going home until you ready to go home, because you love doing what you're doing. So at the end of the day, find out your passion. By the time you're 35, you should have a passion. I don't know no man that's worth his salt that don't have a passion by the age of 25. By the age of 35. 25, understandable. 25, understandable, because you're still figuring it out. But make you a realistic plan. And just work it. Just work it. And you'll see that you're not behind the eight ball. But most men really feel like that because, like, for real, by the time most guys are 18, they kind of feel like by themselves. You get basically kicked out the house. It's not funny, but basically that's what it is. You got to work or get your education or both. It's not easy. So, I mean, at the end of the day, make a plan and you'll figure it out. I feel like somebody needed to hear that. There's a few people that need to hear that. It's no role models in the community to show them the right direction if you still believe in anything is possible. Ebony, social media is king and undefeated. Okay. Again, very morbid, but okay. One of the things that I'm grateful for when I was younger is that I've always had father figures or strong male figures around me. I played sports growing up, and there was always a coach outside of my dad, an uncle, or rites of passage programs. So I was always around some sort of navigation system. But I already knew what I wanted to do. I already knew what I wanted to do. So, but it's crazy. I'm not doing what I thought I was gonna end up doing. I thought I was gonna be running touchdowns all my life, or scoring 3-point shots. I didn't have no idea I was gonna be a music artist at all. So, but hey, sometimes your passion chooses you, and you just work that thing. Feel me? So it is what it is, man. I feel like some of y'all needed to hear that. I feel like some of y'all needed to hear that. And it's more so society telling you that you're not successful, you don't make enough money, you're just not enough. Make a plan, educate yourself on where you need your education, get some sort of mentorship, because there's people out here that would rock with you. Because again, like how I said, I don't want to regurgitate. People work with who they're comfortable with. They don't go by based on the resume like how we was taught that the world go by. We don't live in the resume era or the resume age. I hire who I'm cool with. I'm cool with him. I know what type of energy he gonna bring in, day out. He got enough education to do the job. All right, cool. Hire him. Keeping it real. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. R&B singer. Oh, I jumped on, y'all. I jumped on. My bad. President Donald Trump wants to turn back college football to what it was before the NIL deals. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. President Donald Trump wants to turn college football back to before it was no NIL deals by banning NILs and banning the transfer portal. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, President Donald Trump wants to turn back college football to is basically original state where there's no NIL, but he's banning the NIL and there's no transfer portal. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Me personally, listen, college football, it does need to be retooled. Transfer portal, NIL deals is not one of them. This will go so against what America is built on if you take away the transfer portal. If you take away the NIL at this particular point in time in college football. Like, let's be real. Every other sport, kids could be 15, 16, and be phenoms and make millions of dollars. But because college football is college football, now people need to tell us how much money we can make or where we could go. I love the fact that the kids have the opportunity to make another choice. They at this school, they like the school, but there's another school that wants them to pay them more money. Let them go make that money. Just like the coach would go take a better position, just like how Donald Trump would take a better position if he wasn't the president. He would take another better position with a company to pay him more money. So why hinder these kids to doing the same thing? Well, young men to doing the same thing. And for years, college football has been bleeding the players by giving them this misnomer of an education. Oh, you get an education and some free meals. But me running these touchdowns generate billions for this school. And myself and my family, we don't benefit from none of that? Nah. Yeah, Donald Trump need to sit down somewhere and focus on the war. Focus on that. Don't focus on college football. It's cool. I get it. College football has a transfer portal problem. And what that means is that they got too many portals open. They should change the way how the portal works, meaning if a kid wants to transfer, he transfers. But you only could transfer to one school per year. So once you there, bro, you there for the whole football season. And if you don't want to be there after the football season, all right, then you could dip somewhere else. You could go get your money somewhere else. or whatever the case may be. But once you there for the year, you there for the year. For sure. For sure. So he should not take away the transfer portal because his favorite schools or his favorite teams, they lose guys every day, and these guys happen to be good players. So now NIL money, bruh, this NIL money about to get even more crazier. And you mean to tell me that he could benefit off the economy and taking advantage of different positions, but everybody else can't? So in other sports, you have a young tennis player, 15 years old, 16 years old, they can get endorsements that will pay them millions of dollars per year. Now you have young baseball players, not now, but you have young baseball players, basketball players. They don't even have to go to the NBA. They could go overseas, make their money overseas, and then come back to the draft. But they could go make their money. But in football, that's an issue. Focus on the war, President Donald Trump. Focus on that. There's more other things you can focus. And if you're going to do anything, just make sure the transfer portal, the kids can only transfer to one school per year. Cool. But to put a cap on this thing, yeah, I'm not putting a cap on NIL money when the schools continue to make more money. And I'm talking about big schools. Like, I love my Michigan Wolverines. Love them. But we have 108,000 seating stadium. 108,000. Mind you, it's packed at capacity every game to see the Wolverines because we love them. Them tickets is just as expensive as an NFL game, where the nosebleed section is somewhere like $50, $60. Good tickets, there's a whole lot of $350, $450, $500 seats in that stadium. And that's for a good seat. Now, great seat, we're talking about thousands of dollars. So just on selling tickets, Michigan probably clears easy 10 million in sales per game. Not to mention the parking lot, not to mention the concession, not to mention merchandise. And that's just one school. We didn't talk about Alabama. We didn't talk about Florida. We didn't talk about Florida State. We didn't talk about Texas. We didn't talk about none of those big time programs. So if the schools continue to make that money, the players need to continue to make that money. As far as the portal goes, yeah, one school per year, bro. You cannot get to the next school and then now you want to transfer after the spring. Can't get to the school and then all of a sudden you there for 2 days, now you want to leave. No, once you sign on, you are there, bro, and you make it work. Just like the coach. The coach could go to a bummy school. If they turn up, he could take another job, making way more money the very next year. So President Donald Trump, focus on the war. Focus on the war. Shout out to fam. If you take the transport and some of them, they need the money for housing and transportation. I love that. Shout out to Ruin 12 in the building, one of our day ones, one of our big bad shoulders. Appreciate you tapping in, my dude, bro. 1K for seats. I'd rather buy a drone for 1K and watch it up close at 4K. You wouldn't even be able to do that because they got so many cameras in the stadiums. If they sense a drone, they have the capacity to knock your drone down. So you out of 1K. You out of 1K. So you better off seeing it on 4K on your big screen TV at home. For real. And that's how real it is. That's how real it is. People don't understand that just watch the NFL. If you watch the NFL, it's like, yeah, but how many games have you seen a lot of NFL teams and their stands is empty. Watch college football. Watch college football. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 fans in them stands. Packed. Packed. And school making all that money on. Again, what did I say? Sales, ticket sales, merchandise, parking lot, concession. And now they want to talk about putting a cap on NIL. Y'all not putting a cap on how much school the money can make. How much money the school can make. So why y'all trying to put a cap on the kids? But like I said, once you sign, you are there, bro. I'm not in favor of a kid signing his name and signing with the school, and then 2 weeks later, yo, come to LSU. We got 20 million for you. Oh, word, damn, like, all right, I'm there. Like, yeah, hey, man. Nah, I'm not for that. Once you sign, your ass go to the school that you signed to. So that's what I believe regarding that. But they still getting paid. Shout out to Rowan 12. He said, nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, again, whether you kidding or not, I just want you to understand, like, yo, what, like, a lot of people don't realize $1,000 for a football game. That's a lot of money. It's not even the NFL. This is college. So again, most college, not most, but there's a lot of college teams that hold way more fans than the NFL. Way more fans. Just the capacity of their stadium. And these are rabid fans. These are NFL, to me, got casual fans, in my opinion. They casual. College fans, it's a whole nother ball game. Whole nother ball game. So that the school is making different types of money. Different types of money on them players. And they've been doing that for years. They've been doing that for years. The college football game in 2025 just started paying the players. You know when they started releasing them college games? Back in the early 90s, if not 91, in Bill Walsh college football. So from 91 all the way to 2014, all these games, image, likeness, the schools benefited off this money on. And in 2025, and the only reason why the game went away from 2014 all the way to 2025 is because they passed the rule that the people that develop the games have to pay the players on image and likeness. So, and name, image, and likeness. So again, all this money on. There was a player at Notre Dame, and he started selling like merchandise of Notre Dame, because before then they didn't really have merchandise at these games like that. But he started making special orders of t-shirts, and he was making about $100,000 a week just off the t-shirts, because whatever particular team that they would play, he would get special like t-shirts made for that game and be just killing them. And they said in the 90s, that's when they brought up the whole thing, was like, yo, you can't press up, these things of the school and basically use the image and likeness without the school permission. So you got to cut us in, bro, because this is ours. And because your stuff is lucrative, if you print up another shirt, we taking that. And because of that particular thing that happened at Notre Dame, it went to all the schools in the rest of the D1 sphere. Y'all go look it up. There's a kid at Notre Dame that used to do it. So college had been raking in the dough off the backs of college players and be like, yeah, go get this education. We're going to get y'all out the hood. Go and get this education. Oh, yeah, your mom need a new car. We'll get her a new car. We do it under the table. That's the least you could do, is get her a new car. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. They coming to see me. I put up the touchdowns, bro. At least you could do is get my mother a new car. What? So I'm glad these players is making this money. But the only change I would make, hey, you sign there, you play there for that year. It ain't no, oh, I'm out spring after spring ball. No, sit your little ass down. This is where you're at for the year, bro, and make your NIL money. So President Trump, yeah, sit this one out. Sit this one out. Shout out to Ruin 12. What you have to buy yourself out of the contract though. Oh, so you're saying if a player signs basically for 4 million at one school, and then 2 weeks later another school say, hey, we got 6 million for you, right? That school will have to buy that contract out. Now, I don't like that either. I don't like if a player signs at this school for 4 million and 2 weeks later another school wants to pay him 6 million and is willing to pay the 4 million that you already paid him. I don't like that either. Once you sign, your ass is there. Period and point blank. You can't have it both ways, because what that do is like it creates a market that is proven. And what I mean by that is proven, when you these NIL deals, you sign the deal based on what the school values your market, right? So that 4 million sound great to you today. You don't know you worth 6 mil. And if you believe that you're worth more, guess what? You won't sign for 4 million. So you're gonna wait. So if you secure your future by signing this 4 million today, 2 weeks later, I don't want to hear about you trying to transfer for 6 mil, even though the other school's gonna pay me the 4 million. We committed to you. The whole 2 weeks, we just committed to you. Now all of a sudden, you want to go somewhere. Nah, B, you here for the year, dog. You here for the year. You could go get that money next year. So that's what the question that you're asking me. When you have to buy yourself out the contract, right? So, or you give the money back. You're like, yo, I know y'all gave me the 4 million. How about I just give y'all the 4 million and then y'all just let me rock and I'll go to the other school? No, because without the 4 million that we gave you, you wouldn't get the 6 million. So we set the market on you. That's not fair neither. So if we're willing to set the market on you without anybody else matching it until after us, I don't like that. I don't like that. If you sign, then you're there. But if you have an open market, you like, yo, I'm worth y'all offering me 4 million. I'm not going to sign. I'm going to waive my options. Then I have no problems with that, obviously, because you didn't sign. But once you sign, you there, yo. That's how I look at it. Once you sign, you there. Bro, everyone be watching college football. That's what I'm saying. Like, college football is rabid fans for college football. People have hardcore teams in college football. Shout out to fam. Budget, low demand, $85 average cost, 183, 339 premium, big game, Ohio State 430, student 430 to 17 for student passes tickets, 174.90 for eligibles. You know, those games get way more than that. You saying the average cost? Oh, you said for the so I get what you're saying now. For the low budget games, the average ticket is $85 for the low budget games. I get what you're saying now. Okay, so and then you're comparing it to Ohio State, that the average game at Ohio State is from 430 to 1750 plus the student season tickets. 174 to 90 for eligibility, and 339 premium to big games. Yeah, them games get way, but that's just the average. Those games get way more than that. I remember I wanted to get a ticket to Ohio and Michigan at Ann Arbor. The day the season was released to Michigan University, them tickets were sold out within 1 hour. I went to go get a ticket. I couldn't get a ticket for Ohio State versus Michigan at Ann Arbor. Every ticket was gone in an hour. So again, we buy these seats up. in the school reap the benefits. Okay, cool. Why can't the player reap the benefits too? Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. People don't like, we love Michigan, right? But we love Michigan because we got great players. If Michigan has trash ass players, they not gonna have 108,000 seating stadium. We're not buying them tickets out in an hour. No way, right? It's because we have great players. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody coming to the school just to come to the school. But year in, year out, the school has had the reputation for having great players. I just said when we go 9-3, that's considered a bad season. Like, yo, we went 9-3. Yo, who the coach? What's going on? What we doing up there? What we not doing up there? Why are we 9-3, bro? Am I bugging? Ohio State the same way. Like, real talk, Ryan Day, he was on his way out. If he didn't win the championship last year, he would have lost his job. Bro, you lost to Michigan. We #1 in the country. Michigan is what? It's 7-5 at that point. We had at least 5 of our first round guys sit out. And we had no quarterback. And we still won. Ryan Day was good as gone. But he won the championship. It was like, all right, let's keep it cool. Let's keep it cool. Let's keep it humby. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give him another chance. Let's keep it humby around here. So, again, ain't nobody coming to see these coaches. Ain't nobody coming to see the school like that. Coming to see the players because we know that the school going to keep a great team, great players. That's just how it go. So, these players need to make that money. They need to be allowed to make that money. Rowan 12. Wouldn't you have to pay yourself? Oh, okay, so I got that one. Shout out to Gentle in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. You are an amazing human being. Appreciate that. You are as well. Thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate that. I love kindness. Appreciate you for that. Thank you. You are as well. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to fam. If you signed an NIL and you want to get transferred, you have to give the money back and out the whole season. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that for the players. I remember being a player. Like I said, I'm an older guy. I played back when if we elected to transfer, we used to miss a whole year. So we had to be very strategic in transferring. So like this is how the old transfer used to work. And that's why a lot of teams got to hoard talent. If you transferred to another school, you had to sit out a year. If you transferred to another school within the conference, you had to sit out 2 years, which is crazy. So if you're a freshman, it's like, damn, if I transfer, I can't play till my junior year. So if I go in conference or if I go to Florida and I transfer to Tennessee, I'm a freshman. I can't play until my senior year. That's ridiculous. So let the players play. If they sign the deal, they get their money and they stay at the school. And the school that wants to pay you that money, hopefully it'll be available next year. They might pay you more if you ball out here and you could go there and make your money. But once you sign, bro. I'm not into, we'll give you the money back and then we'll let you rock. Nah, no. I don't like that. Because we set the market on you. Because let's keep it real. The other school wouldn't pay you what we paid you. But because they seen us paid you with them, now, we're going to pay you that. Now we're going to up it. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Nah. Think about that in real life, right? Think about if you got a girl, you love her, you set the market by marrying her, right? You set the market. Then you got another dude, they're like, yo, I'll love you more than him. Like, I know he take care of everything, but I take care of everything and more. I wash your feet at night on top of that. You like, whoa. She like, you gonna add the washing on my feet? Oh, I'm out, baby. Like, yo, what you mean you out? Like, if you're gonna go, you're gonna go. But y'all get the point that I'm making. Once you sign, you are in for the year. Giving the money back, I don't like that. Let the players play, because they're going to play. They're going to get their money. And then when they transfer, they can play the very next year and make that money elsewhere at another school. If you're going to weigh your options, then weigh your options. Don't sign that contract. That's how I think about the NIL deal. So to me, it's not enough for the player just to get the money back. That's just me. That's just me. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to rap. R&B singer Tams. R&B singer Tams has revealed that she's still a virgin at 29. And she's waiting for marriage. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, R&B singer Tams has revealed that she's still a virgin at the age of 29. And she's waiting for marriage. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. And, you know, I like to see us continue to grow. Pause. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, hearing her say this, I'm glad she mentioned this, because when I see Tams, I'm like, she's a nice looking lady. She's thick. So I would never think that she was still a virgin. Kudos to her, and the fact that she want to wait till she gets married. I think more women should wait till they get married too. I really believe that. I know some of the dudes is like, yo, Ash, how can you say that? Like get out of here. We don't believe you. I really do believe that. I really do. Because you're going to give your husband something that you never gave to any other man. So I applaud that. I do. I do. Now, do I want a virgin? Hell no. We get into it tonight, baby. We go out, you know what I'm saying? We getting into it tonight. Feel me? Shit, even before we go out, we doing what we doing tonight. But we not talking about me. Talking about Tams. So I love this for her. Sexy woman, nice looking lady. I like this for her. I really do. I really do. I think some other women should follow them footsteps, especially our younger ladies, opposed to following other examples. That 304 lifestyle. I'm just saying, it doesn't do the community better. But also, my thing is this too. It's all in her intention, which makes it different for me. She's saving it for marriage, and that's the intent, marriage. So whatever man that marries her, that's going to be a gift that no other man has received from her. It's the intent. Now, if you've been having sex and say, yeah, well, I'm going to lock it down until I get married, that don't work the same way. No, it's not the same bargaining chip. No. Doesn't work the same in that capacity. If you've been toting that thing, then you need to do it better. But if you haven't, then save it. And it's because of the intent. So I like that for Tams. Love that for Tams. And at the end of the day, hey, if you are a young lady who has never engaged in sexual activities, wait. If your intent is to get married, and save that for your husband. For sure. I'm definitely on board for that. For sure. For sure. A shout out to the chat. Y'all been super duper amazing. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 12. So again, tap into the memberships. We just had 10 memberships gifted to the channel. And again, I appreciate that. Major love. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Dwight Howard, wife, exposes him with alleged drug use and supposedly coaching his children to lie on her. My follow-up question to that, is there such thing as better or worse? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, Dwight Howard's wife exposes him with the alleged drug use on video that has gone viral, saying that his belongings had drugs or substances that's led to be drug use for drug use. She has made that video viral, or that video went viral, and also coaching his children to lie on her, which caused her to expose him. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And is there such a thing as better or worse? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, when I seen this video, I was kind of disgusted. Mainly because this woman made this video and was super hella vague. I honestly believe this video was made for the safety of her. And what do that mean? Meaning that there's something going on in that household that's so egregious that she's speaking out against him so her name doesn't get dragged in the mud. But the vows say for better or worse. You signed up for that. You may not have signed up for your stepkids to lie on you, and it is a tough situation. But you sign up for better or worse when you get married if you believe in vows. So whatever that's going on in the household, it really feels like him versus her, and she's choosing her. Now on that part, I can't be mad at. If you're loving somebody and they kicking you at the same time, then you have to create separation. But is going to the internet your best idea? Like, in my eyes, when it's for better or for worse, and the person that you're supposed to love is now kicking you, you can still get away from that situation. It may make it be known to the authorities, because the authorities already known, because the authorities is included into the things that they have going on that she made mention to. It doesn't necessarily have to be public. Now everybody's going to speak on it. Now everybody's going to say something, whether they have the full story or not, when you're being vague as hell. Now she says she loves his kids. And I don't doubt that. She says she loves him. I don't doubt that. I don't. It's not for me to see if this woman loved this man or not. Like, I don't got no dog in a fight. But you brought it to the internet. So now everybody's going to have an opinion. But when you say for better or for worse, richer or poorer, and you take those vows, do you go to the internet with your business when things are not going right? Because that's what it seems like. That's the power of course. Because she had made mention before that her and him was filing for divorce, and she had a difference of heart, but she brought it to the internet. Why tell us this? People have issues all the time in their marriage, but they don't let the whole world know. It's not the world's business, it's y'all business. If y'all filing for divorce one day and change your mind the next day, that's cool. You don't got to explain that to nobody. Because nobody understands a real relationship between man and woman until you bring it to the internet. So being vague as hell, saying that this man has some sort of drug use, and this particular drug use is taking him to a deeper place where he's doing other things. Because if it's just drug use, like, I don't want to sound mean when I say this, but drug use is serious, right? Like, but you leaving the person that you love because they have an illness or a sickness, better or worse, you help them get help. And when they don't want help, you leave. That's how better and worse look like. I'm just saying that's what it looked like. So now, when there's something worse because of the drug use, I can understand. I'm fighting for you, but you're kicking me while you're fighting for me. So I can't fight for you, but I'm not going to take it to the internet. That's why you lose me. I'm not taking it to the internet. I'm keeping this in home. I'm keeping this in house. We got issues. You the one with the real issue for real. I'm trying to be there and trying to help you, but you kicking me at the same time. I'm willing to help you, but you ain't gonna be kicking me while I'm helping you either. But I'm also not gonna go to the internet. See how that works? Am I tripping when I say that? So again, now you have the other, baby mother speaking out about it and saying that, hey, basically, not verbatim, but in essence of what she's saying is like, yo, what goes around, come around, kid. I feel like I've been saying the same thing and nobody wants to hear me. So in all fairness to this situation, the kids in the situation is most important. If the kids are being coached to lie on her, that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. But kids are kids. They don't want to see either of their parents in a terrible situation. They don't want to even see their step parent in a terrible situation. Because kids are kids. They really like, they're sponges. They taught really how to love based on our actions. So the kids are most important. Secondly, is both this young lady, I believe her name is Amy Luciano, and Dwight Howard. They're both second as in importance. If he needs help, he needs to get help. As his wife, she has to make the decision either to stand with him and help him or not. Now, if she chooses to leave because she feels while she's trying to help him that he's kicking her at the same time, I can understand it. I can understand it. Because that's not an easy thing to go through. But don't use the internet to blow it up. How can you get real resolve using the internet? What is he supposed to do? He's going through his use. He's going through his situation. Allegedly, he's lying. And I have to say allegedly. Allegedly, he's lying. And then he sees this on the internet. So he's going to take your actions by helping him? No. If he's not going to take seeing that on the internet, he's damn sure not going to see the real way you're trying to help him. Now, as for Dwight Howard, hey, yo, what's more important? What's more important? Whatever activities you're engaging in or your children? Because in order to be a better parent, you have to be a better you. Just saying. Because these are all things that are alleged. I have to say alleged. Because even though it was claimed, it was, on video and went viral, these things have not been proven yet. The only thing that has been proven is that the authorities have been to their home on several occasions recently. What had been proven, there was a removal of his daughter from the premises. So something is going on in that house. And I'm not saying that she's to blame, and I'm not saying that he's not. But bringing it to the internet is not there's not going to be a positive resolve. Especially when you sign up for better or worse. You don't get to choose your worse, and you don't get to choose your better. So that's what's going on regarding that. And this is going super viral. She's made several videos sitting in her vehicle crying, visibly upset, pulling out some sort of substance that it looked like drug use type of substance, that she's saying that she's losing her marriage because of the substance and what it's doing to his decision making. And that part is vague. What is he doing after using the substance? There's something, because the authorities is coming to their home. But what is it? It's not loyalty that you say it on the internet, but being vague about it. If you want to leave, yo, dip out. Yo, like it again, I understand if you want to leave, because I understand when you're trying to be there for somebody and they're kicking you while you're trying to be there for you. Or you're trying to be there for them. I understand that. So, but don't bring it to the internet. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. Question. Would the NFL and or the NBA, would they be a better league without the salary cap? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, would the NFL or the NBA and the NBA, would they be better leagues if they did not have a salary cap? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Ebony. She pulled out the substance on the video. I can't say the actual substance because again it's alleged. So shout out to Vic. He said worse. He said, yeah, people sign up when you get married. That's better or worse, bro. You can't choose your worst. I'm just a big believer in that. Can't choose your worst. Marriage is very hard. It's very hard. I've had long-standing girlfriends. Marriage is not for me. I believe you can achieve having a life partner and the benefits without signing on the dotted line. You can get policies. You don't have to get married, strapped in. But marriage is very hard. But you sign up for what you sign up for once you put your name on the dotted line. That's what I believe, man. Better or worse, you don't get the chance to choose your worst. And you don't put it on the internet. Just saying. Again, question. Would the NFL and the NBA, would they be better leagues without a salary cap? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Now, me personally, this is only a question mainly because the NFL and the NBA are the only two sports who are brother-based. The majority of the players is brothers. And there's a salary cap. When you think of any other team sport, there's no salary cap in other team sports on that level. I'm not sure if there's one in hockey. So let me clear that up. I'm not sure if there's one in hockey. But hockey is cool. It's cool. You know. But baseball don't have for sure they don't have a salary cap. But I notice sports that are led by brothers, football and basketball, which is the main sport. Some people will say, nah, soccer's the world sport. Yeah, no salary cap. See how that go? No salary cap. Ain't a lot of brothers in soccer. It's a few. Not a whole bunch. Football, basketball, I'll say it's about 85%. It's about 85%. Especially for football. About 85%. Basketball, I'll say, you got quite a few of the world players in the league. I'll say basketball is probably like 65, 70 at this point. I'll say that for sure. But majority of the players are still brothers. So would the NFL and the NBA, would they benefit on their sport not having any type of salary cap? Shout out to Vic. He said baseball. Shout out to Paul. We got Paul in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hey, good night. Good morning. I know I missed a lot, but I just got in 15 minutes ago. We appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you. We had a little technical difficulties with the power. So again, appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Honey in the building. Major love. Appreciate. Shout out to Honey, man. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. We appreciate Honey for tapping in as well. Appreciate that. Ebony, she says, why and yeah. So me personally, I think the NFL and the NBA would be better leads without a salary cap. For sure. Why have one at this point? Why have one? Because the whole purpose of a salary cap is to keep things even, talent-wise. Basketball is not based on talent. And what I mean by that is this. They have a lottery system when teams are bad. So you don't have to be the worst to get the top pick. If you made a trade and a player gets hurt and you just happen to be bad, you could swap the pick. Yo, we was bad this year, so we could swap the pick. And now we could get a really good player to add to our really good team. It's just our team was hurt. In the NFL, hey, yo, you terrible, you get the first pick. That's how that goes. The worst teams get the best picks. So that lead is more about talent and dividing the talent, and you're not going to get trades that are so lopsided in the NFL. Basketball, you get lopsided trades all the time. So a sport like basketball, for sure, there's no need for basketball to have a salary cap at all. You're going to play the players with what you want to pay them anyway. And like, let's keep it real. People love to see super teams. That helps drive the sport when you have super teams. But a better part of having super teams is when you have teams with personality. They play a certain way, they act a certain way. So regardless of who the superstar on the other teams, it don't even matter because you have to play this particular type of team to beat them. So the league like the NBA would be a much better league without the salary cap. Because they don't do things based on talent. They don't do things based on wins and losses. They even got something for the playoff called the play-in. Instead of 8 teams going, 10 teams could go. And you can play your way in. So again, it's like building more losers. NFL, salary cap. I definitely understand the salary cap for the NFL. Now, should the cap be higher? Yes. Yes. But I definitely understand the salary cap because it's a talent-based league. You see my Kansas City Chiefs. We had to trade our all-pro corner. We don't want to trade him. And this is the second all-pro corner we had to trade. We don't want to trade neither one of them. They help us win Super Bowls. But again, according to how they're getting paid and how the rookie skill works and how you organize your team, and when you have a great quarterback and you pay him the quarterback, when you have another great defensive end or defensive tackle player, you pay him. You try to pay your offensive line guy. And that's how you build your team. You have to be strategic with the money that you use. That's a part of the strategy. Love that. NBA, toss out the salary cap. It makes no sense. Not for the NBA, because one of the most exciting things about the NBA is trades. And because the trades don't make sense anyway from a talent standpoint, it doesn't matter, honestly, from a financial standpoint. Like, what are we talking about? So NFL, would they benefit on having no more salary cap? I like the salary cap in the NFL only because it's a part of the strategy of building your team. I love that. Learn how to build your team using the money. NBA, yeah, nah, not built off the same principle. So me personally, NFL, salary cap. NBA, no salary cap. That's how I think it should go. That's how I think it should go. Again, I want to thank y'all for tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Moving on to my next segment, my Keep the Lie Live segment. So my Keep the Lie Live for this episode. I have to say this because I see this on social media all the time. men speaking up, women speaking up on the limitations of dating. The only people that complain about dating is people who are limited in dating. Those are the only people that complain about dating, is people who are limited in dating. What do that mean? If you're not up to par, those are the most of the people who complain about dating. And what do I mean by up to par? If you have a mentality that somebody should take you as you are, meaning that you don't feel like you can improve yourself or be the best version of yourself for you and for them, you're always going to be complaining. She should accept me just because. But you like her. You like her more than she like you. And she's willing to like you back. But there's some things that she wants. Now, vice versa. Ladies, when you like him, doesn't mean he's supposed to like your ass back. Do you do the things that align to the things that he likes? Do you value the same things that he may value? He may value fitness. You may value food. So you can't expect him to like you as much as you want him to like you because he doesn't value that. So there's no longer a take me as I am mentality. And that goes on both sides. And I see people that complain about this is the people who are limited. When people who are limited, they bring up stuff like age. When people are grown, they are grown. You are able to date whoever you want to date if they of age. It's always been like that. Nobody complains about age when they feel like they look good. When a woman is 40 and is smoking, she's smoking. Ain't nobody say nothing when she dates a 25-year-old. Nobody say nothing then. Obviously, nobody's going to say nothing about that 40-year-old dating a 60-year-old man. But what would they say? Oh, you dating a 60-year-old man? You could have got a man who look as good as you. You smoking hot. Why? Won't you get another 40-year-old instead of the 60-year-old? It doesn't matter if she feeling him and he's feeling her. What does it matter? But people who are limited only complain about dating. It's not enough men in like over here that I want to date. They're over there. And they're over there because they value women with nice bodies. Guess what? Work out. Ladies, let me let y'all know a secret. Men, we value natural beauty. So if you're naturally fit, not saying you have to be a size 1, a size 2. You could be a size 6 and just be naturally fit. I've seen women who can carry I've seen a woman that could carry 170, being 5. This one was like 5'5", 170, and was just sexy. How do I know this? I just know, okay? I ain't getting into all that. I just know. And just sexy, head to toe, natural, fit, naturally fit. Don't have to be a size 2. Don't have to be a size 4. Just be natural. And people who are not limited is not the ones complaining because their sexual marketplace is up, meaning that they could work out, keep naturally fit, be the best version of themselves, and still get the results that they're looking for. Only the people that don't get the results they're looking for, they're the only ones that's complaining. Whether that's by age, beauty standard, or by weight. Like, let's keep it real. Most women don't care about a man's age once he's grown enough, whether he's 21 or 42. If that woman think he's smoking hot, other women like, girl, you better go get that dude. We all watch how Stella, when Stella got her groove back, what her homegirl was telling her. Oh, he 20? He 21? You better jump on her. What you talking about? You want to date a dude your age? Look, these dudes are washed up. These particular dudes who are your age, they're washed up. Now, it'll be one thing, if there's a dude that you like, he's on top of his game and you get at him. Cool. But he's on top of his game. And he's an adult. Maybe younger, but he's an adult. Only people that complain about dating is the ones that's limited. They always going to be complaining. But when people got their money up, when people got their body up, especially when it's natural and not cheating, and when it's natural, ain't no complaints. Because there's a space for you in the dating world. So don't be that person, whether you're a man or female. And I've seen it on both sides. I've seen it on both sides where both sides is complaining about something. Complaining about something. If you get your sexy up, you not gonna be complaining. When you go out, you could go to Walmart. Not even trying, and people like, damn. And that could work both ways. You ain't complaining in. So if you concentrate on yourself, get your sexy up, get your money up, get your energy up. You don't care what other people not doing for you. You doing you. So focus on you. Take advantage of your sexual marketplace, and don't be limited. And you could lose all those complaints. Tired of seeing this on social media. I've seen one woman say that brothers who date white women, if they would date a white woman, then that they will sleep with a man. What? What type of who? Huh? And it's coming from somebody that has insecurities. Like, what are we talking about now? If she had her sexy up, she had her money up, she wouldn't have said that. She wouldn't care if brothers dealt with white women. Because she would have the things that's needed for her to be successful in the dating space. Same thing for some dudes. Some dudes get mad when a woman wants a guy with a certain amount of money. Cool. They doing you a favor. That's just not the woman for you, bro. Find a woman that doesn't base her attraction off of money. Which should be really easy, because at the end of the day, when we all been to school. We been to elementary, junior high school, college, or in the workspace. Everybody is not rich, but people were attracted to you based on your looks or your energy. So get back to that. You mad because this woman over here don't want you because you don't got $1 million. But you know how many broke dudes in the world that still get all the love, get all the women? But they get the women that don't focus on stuff like that. You improve yourself and you lose all the excuses. So that's my Keep the Lie live for this episode. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been super amazing. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast, episode 242. Wow, that's a lot of, no, 244. 244. This 244th episode. And I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been absolutely amazing. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snap. So you get the finest movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Also, want to thank OUV Records. As you see the hats and you see the box. Again, be on the lookout for that new OUV Records app. You get a better listening experience and a better visual directly from OUV artists. And it's going to be a fire app. It's still in development, but be on the lookout for that as well. Again, I'm on every Wednesday, every Sunday at 10:30. Make sure y'all tap into those videos. We got over 600 rewatchable videos on the Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast playlist. Make sure y'all go tap into those videos, leave some great comments, stay engaged in the channel. Again, we're on the road to 20,000. We're a little over 12, so continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. Shout out to the chat, been super deep, been showing major love. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties, but we was able to get on track and continue with a great show. Again, I want to thank some of our supporters who gifted the chat with 10 new memberships. I thank you for that as well. Much appreciated, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And remember, y'all, do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out for being negative. Have the ability to stand out for being positive. Lose that mindset of it can only be one. Let's lose that. The only we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. We celebrate life culture. And you already know, again, I am Ashley Lovechild, and I'm going to see y'all this Wednesday at 10:30. And y'all already know it's love. And I'm going to see y'all next time. I'm out.